Excellent. Hello, world. We are back again doing some Truthfire Journal style, covering stories out there in pop culture. Tonight, we're going to be getting into more modeling, more music artists, also tennis, STEM, and U.S. politicians. These bubbles will rotate over time, but it takes a while to flip a bubble, so we'll be on these for some time. All right, introductions. I am Nai Coach, a level 53 pod layer practitioner, and with me I have Nishai Bruno, a level 8 pod layer practitioner. All right. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with modeling. All right, as always, Bruno, just jump in if you have any thoughts, whatever. We'll kind of cruise through. And one thing that came with Ben was nice. Let's actually do back and forth on reading out. I'll take odds, you take evens. Sound good?
Okay.
Cool. All right, so screen share. All right, can you see it?
Yes.
All right, first up, Ginai Lenore Abergil. And a bit unusual because Gina are fairly common in fashion modeling and swimsuit stuff. But when we get to like the Miss World, like the beauty pageants, that tends to be more of a literal affair. So actually, in this context, Gina is a bit unusual.
Cool.
All right, this is you.
Zani Ruth Abels.
Nice. Pretty classic there. Nice.
Yeah.
Chili elf. All right. So 3. Zaini Nastya Abramova. Pretty classic there as well in the cheeks.
A lot of I.
A good amount. You are right. I wouldn't say as much as the academic Zaini I've seen a few of, but she does give more of a penetrating stare. Yeah, you're right with the hunter power. As opposed to this, here the knee's more prevalent. You take it?
Right. Zaini Amina Alam.
Yeah. Her knee kind of is, more, the dancing eyes are more readily apparent. It's good, yeah, because we're getting a lot of Zaini riffs. That's a cool thing, like bubble flipping. Some bubbles have a lot of variation, like mixed martial arts, acting, comedy. There's a few others that have a lot. They have a good amount of spread in there. And other ones are more standard, say 2 to 4, and then the ones that are more narrow. In some cases here, like all the Zaini, the upside is maybe not the variation, but you're getting a lot of riffs, particularly since we don't have nearly enough Zaini ladies. Because that's quite a jump from her to the one we saw previously. You mean the one you pointed out about the Vi?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and eventually, much later down the line, that can even connect with Zaini males when we figure out, where they are.
It's a good point. Especially so interesting because you can cross over that way in general. It takes some doing, but it's worthwhile and improves one's riffing. But some can be a bit more challenging than others. For example, I find jumping male to female on the Najez easier than it is for others. And that's because, for example, a lot of the fields that they show up, they both show up. But like Zaini females in modeling as compared to Zaini males in science, do you know what I mean?
It's not really the same thing at all. Yep.
What were you saying?
Yeah, it's very different. I'm just wondering where the Zaini males are, because I'm sure that they're more I'm sure that they're somewhere applying this kind of scientific principles approach to things other than science, but we just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, that's true. They do. With I've seen with comedy and vlogging, that way of thinking and natural gifts really seems to give them quite a lot of advantages and comfortable level there. And then also, now that's one thing. And I since you mentioned that, like the vlogging, not so much comedy, because even in comedy, like there's mainly guys Zaini. The ladies, they do some comedy, but usually they're like the beauty. That's how they're often put in various shows you'll see them in. But like the vlogging, both the Zaini female and the Zaini male are heavily represented. So that's a cool one because they're both in that same bubble. So it's easier to kind of see the cross-gender riffs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of really top vloggers are Zaini, from what I understand, right? Like
yeah, both genders, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Here we go. Naiji Alexieva. She has that more penetrating gaze. It seems natural. And the mouth looks like she's holding it. Like, to me, I believe these are cheeks being held still, mouth being held still, as compared to the more natural cheek stillness of Zaidi.
Yeah, for sure. She reminds me of some indie music artists, I think.
Yeah. Next up, Zhu.
Jivy Clara Alonso.
Yep. Pretty classic.
Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out the trends because there's some clear-cut ones and then there's some crossover. Like, the area that seems the most crossover so far, but I'm just getting into this bubble. But swimsuits, because it seems like there's like this VZI kind of thing in the sport modeling, but they do swimsuit modeling also. And then there's like I don't know, like the pinup pop culture girl often has a crossover to music where the AdSense ladies. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they also will do swimsuit stuff. And then you have the fashion models, which tends to be the Zaini, Jinai, and Naiji. But again, they will do swimsuit. This is very crude, Bruno, very crude right now. But I'm trying to figure out where, you know what I mean? Because clearly there's like 3 or 4 major sub-threads within modeling, at least. Because, you know what I mean? If you go to fashion modeling,
yeah.
it switches versus other things. But swimsuit, maybe there's other stuff where they mix more.
Yeah, I mean, I've got another bubble that I found, which is sort of like underground tattoo modeling. You know,
Okay.
it does. I mean, they don't have to have tattoos, but there's some groups like Suicide Girls, God's Girls. They generally have like tattoos, and they're very like full of piercings and things like that. I'm pretty sure there's at least a few Nages around there. I mean, probably a lot of the ones that you see normally. I'll send you a list pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Try that. Maybe some V-Mojos with good eye or something too.
Right. I'm sure there's lots of those as well.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. That'd be good on new venture within this case. All right, this is me, Zaini Daliana Arikian, and she's got kind of a smoky look, like almost the one on the right. She's almost kind of done up a bit more like you sometimes will see like Jai Alpha.
Right, with the eyes really like dark and.
Yeah, and really the lips really darkened as well. But I believe this is a Zaini. So it's interesting to see them when they do that kind of makeup. All right, this one is yours coming up.
Zaini Steffi Argelik.
Yep. On the right there, look at those cheekbones. Bam. Those are the money makers. Even the Durham ladies, they have to try to emulate that as best they can because that is the look. All the Durham ladies have seriously good Zai cheeks going on to be competitive in this field.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's like the Nature Channel, right? I mean, it's so trivial, like, so this creature does good, but only for this season. Then when the fruits change, these new birds come in. It's like, I love it. It's awesome. All right, Vijay, classic. It's interesting the Vijay often do their makeup different, like to accentuate their features. Because the Vijay, Nijai also, they do it in a different way. But in this kind of classic, like model way, there's like a bountifulness that Vijay have, and their makeup like accentuates a bountifulness. Whereas like the sheer beauty of the Zaini, they do their makeup and hold their expressions in a way to accentuate that, you know what I mean, that natural gift they have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this one you can see rosy cheeks. You know, she made them even rosier, and
yeah, it's very interesting. In modeling, it's an angle that we talked before, but like, you can look at things besides the physiological cues once you've had that read to see other things. One is like writings. You can look at people's writings or other like paintings and things like that, knowing who they are already. But something else on that is studying fashion choices, like plumage, like animal plumage.
Yeah.
In modeling, plumage is a big deal, and plumage choices are a big deal. And there's a lot to that with people naturally knowing what their mojo does and like accentuating that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do have
I don't know anything what that means yet, really, anything solid, but it's fascinating.
yeah, I think that they have experts that handle all this stuff, just like with casting in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all very very coordinated, and they have experts that like understand all this stuff. Like, what basically probably understand mojo on a very basic, superficial type level.
Yeah,
Then,
probably specialized without having the fundamentals, which is kind of like probably lie detectors. Probably casting directors, lie detectors, and fashion people like
salespeople.
exactly. They're using mojo reading or qualia reading for a very specific purpose, other than first knowing what the person's truth is, and then applying that to their casting needs or other things like that. But I do believe they're definitely exercising that muscle, and training them to do it more fully. I think will be easier than people who have never really flexed that muscle a lot.
Yeah, that was one of my first thoughts when I found Podlayer. It's just especially casting directors, how they would, they would just go crazy over this.
Yeah, it's trippy. Especially when you see things like in the movies where they'll have like a character like Tarzan, and now recently there's going to be a new Tarzan, which is Nazi Skarsgård, Alexander Skarsgård. But usually Tarzan's been a Genii. I mean, there's like so many different versions, and they're almost always Genii. Neat.
Right.
So that's a casting. That's like a series of casting directors through generations making that same decision. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily like cracking the Rosetta Stone itself, but they are definitely like they were working a case together. They didn't realize if they were scientists of the human qualia by trying to cast Tarzan, trying to cast Sherlock Holmes, whoever. That's trippy.
Yeah.
I feel a kinship with them, Bruno. What we're doing right now together, you and I right here. You know what I mean? We're doing it. We're tracking humans, tracking what makes them what they are. Speaking of which,
I guess this is me. Zaini Julia Bonas.
yeah, I'm not saying that there aren't more that do this than just Zaini, Bruno, but I think I may be seeing a trend towards the gap tooth beauty. There's like a riff in modeling of the gap tooth beauty where that's like clearly something that makes them special and sets them apart. And it seems more often to be Zaini. I don't know if I have a Naiji yet. I think I have a few Genii who match that, but a lot more Zaini that had this gap tooth beauty look. Obviously, like Vanessa Paradis, she has is not Zaini, but that's less common.
I can see that. One Zenai that comes to mind is Sandra Bernhardt, who also has a noticeable gap.
I'm wondering on that. Because I said
The-
it's more common with Zaini the most, and then some Genii. I wonder if it has to do something with the discernment lead having their mouth pop first, and having a gap tooth kind of beauty would also just naturally bring attention to the mouth. So maybe, do you know what I mean? Like, since the mouth's already going to pop, that's going to make it pop even more. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe the Xi Alpha may not be included because they may be self-conscious just because of the Xi thing. It just, you don't, it just feels exposed if that's something you're self-conscious about. That makes it even more, vulnerable. So
Gotcha.
maybe Xi Alpha not so much.
Well, we don't see
playing
Xi
that
Alpha.
up.
We don't see Xi Alpha in the modeling much at all, except in a few occasions where they're related to someone famous, and that's kind of why they got there. But yeah, normally.
Sure.
But yeah, normally the does this. Well, you know what? I see what you're saying. I was thinking Xi, but you're right. Xi V do show up a bunch in modeling. That's interesting. You're right. I don't know if I have a Xi V with this look. Yeah, so far it's with Xi users who are also discernment lead, mainly, but there are exceptions. All right. So me. Oh, Jinai Toby Benjoko. This is the wife of that guy, Teju Babyface, the shiny guy. Remember?
Yeah.
He's got longer lines in general, but he's got a round head.
Right. I think that guy's a TV presenter, not strictly a musician. I'm not sure if he's a musician. But I mean, he definitely looks shiny. But you had him in the music timeline, so maybe just something to look at.
So he's actually more of a TV personality.
I think so. He may have done like one or two song and dance numbers on TV, but that's like Jimmy Fallon when he does that. You know, it doesn't mean he's a musician.
Gotcha. All right, I will look into that. Thank you. Next up is the last one. This is you. Take us home. 12. A little different.
Yeah, Vizai Kylene Barker.
So we don't see the Vizai as much as some of the other things, but when it comes to sport modeling, like athlete modeling, and then also in the pageants, the Vizai ladies do show up more. And then also there's some crossover from adult film as well. But here, the bright eyes, bam, like V Alpha right away. But I'm like, wait a minute, that's Cheshire Cat right there. Those cheeks aren't moving. That smile is aware of what it's doing.
That's a really good catch. Yeah, now that you say it, I can see that she reminds me of politicians' wives, gymnasts.
Oh yeah, politician wife. That's a good one.
You know, a lot of other Vizai.
Very cool. All right, so we just dropped 12 new ones on the world. We're doing a great service to humanity here, Bruno. All right.
Yeah, well, that's all you. I'm just glad to be along for the ride.
Well, you're definitely helping as well, because actually, like, I find like talking to gets me motivated.
Yeah, it helps. It helps to have a soundboard and things like that. Sure.
It really does.
What did you have anything planned for the next section?
Music.
Okay. Oh, great.
I just got to get it up here real quick. Alrighty. And let me know if you can see it. I have to get something real quick. Tell me if you can see that.
Yeah, I see it.
Alrighty. So today we have, I think this is one you know, or at least
I think this is one I picked.
So Nijai Aquafina, am I saying that correctly, Bruno?
I think so.
Cool. Please, by all means, if you know anything about them, feel free to shout out. Is she got a genre you're aware of?
She is a sort of like a goofy hip hop, like New York City rapper.
Gotcha. She kind of has a little bit of like a wider face, but a little bit like an Aubrey Plaza thing going on.
Yeah, I can see that.
You mean kind of like sassy, deadpan, but with the heart still there or something?
Right, exactly. You know, Aubrey Plaza, I think she had like a stroke or something when she was younger, and it sort of gave her. She has a very distinctive look, you know, like her eyes, like they look very different from many other Nijai.
They're very sleepy.
Yeah, they're very sleepy, and so that's where that comes from. I think she said it basically changed the way she like other people looked at her. It maybe didn't change how she feels, but it changed her presentation.
Interesting. Yeah, she also has a lot of energy in her lower lip that kind of sags a bit, sort of like this picture on the right here.
Right.
Interesting. All right, next one up is yours. Or if you say anyway.
Nijai Terry Genderbender.
Lay Boucherettes? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yep, I think so. This is a Mexican rock artist. I found her on the most of these people that I've found through interview channels. I just like whenever I find a pocket of interviews, I just sort of been trying to explore as many of the artists and the subjects as possible.
Well, it's been great actually, because a lot of these more indie stuff that's hard to get know where they're at, but if you can, there is a media to work with, and there's more Nijai ladies here, which is great, because in the pop, the main pop mainstream music, Vijay ladies, hard to top the Vijay ladies.
Yeah.
Everyone must compete.
It's almost like a different. It's almost a different ball game. Basically, it's like.
Well, same thing. Def for sure. Even more so than modeling is that within the music bubble that we're doing here, Bruno, that's like so many genres are underneath that. It's crazy.
It's cool. I thought that this one would be an IG.
Interesting. Is there a reason for that? I can see in the light
just like
doing the angry thing, but there she kind of looks like Eliza Dushku being angry.
Yeah, no, I can see now that you say it that she's a Nijai. It's very clear, but just her energy is very intense.
Well, that's one thing I've noticed since you brought that up as well, Bruno, is that the Nijai ladies here from the alternative kind of music scene, different genres of alternative, but there's a much edgier vibe, much edgier than in acting, or I'd say acting, they're the most kind of held back that way, but actually here in the indie music, and also when you get into the novelists, you tend to see a lot more of the feisty kind of edginess, particularly with their values being sort of, I don't know, wild and proud with their values. La Nijai actresses tend to hide that a bit more. They don't like to kind of reveal that about themselves. Maybe afraid people won't want to work with them or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna say something though?
I'm not as familiar with the Nijai novelists. Actually, I sort of I haven't read many books in a long time, other than like history type books.
Right.
Just like filling my vibe.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've just been focusing on history because just a lot of the things have been happening that just because of my own personal situation, I've been trying to like place it in. I've been trying to figure out basically what Baudelaire figured out. So I haven't been doing fiction or much creative reading. Gotcha. Unfortunately, I should. I really.
Oh, no worries.
Would like to.
But I mean, a lot of times you can also come into the case just by looking at interviews, not necessarily having to read their work. This trend does also go with the Nijai males. In case you ever feel like looking them up, just like looking at an interview here and there, is that similar to say Nijai film directors, they tend to be more serious. And if you ask them what they're about, they often will be much more forward about that. And feel solid in it, as compared to say Nijai acting and also comedy, where a lot of times they're much cagier about showing what they believe in or what their opinions are, maybe afraid that they won't get work. But it seems like the more independent they go, the less they care about that, and then they take more pride in sounding off about what they're about.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
And then there's definitely an aggressive vibe to that in these indie artists. I like it. It's awesome. Ironically, there's actually a little bit of the other way too, Bruno. When you get these really indie Niji ladies, sometimes they get into the rainbow hair thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a little bit Bjork, but
yeah. But even sometimes, Bjork hides a lot too. But yeah, very much like an imaginative playground energy.
Yeah, sort of like a fierce pixie kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. Interesting. All right. Niji Garrett Borns from the band Borns. Don't know anything about him. Looks.
They're a pretty new band, I guess. They do sort of like rock, disco. They're basically a rock band. He riffs of Johnny Depp and a lot of these like actor, musician guys.
Gotcha. All right. This is yours.
Nijai Sam Brown. I don't know her.
Okay. Like a folk singer, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nijai Romy Madley Croft.
She's in the XX, which is a band that Adimus really likes, and I also really like. They're like do like this really chill electronic. They were like really critically acclaimed a couple of years ago. You know, like both critics and fans were like going crazy over this band just because they're so like low key and like understated, but also kind of deep. Pretty good.
Nice. It's cute. All right.
Nijai Martha Davis.
On the motels. Interesting
I think
enough,
it's in the 80s.
yeah, I think they had a big hit. I forget what it was, but actually someone else wrote it. But I like the way she sings it a lot. All right, Naiji Zella Day. And she has a little bit of that kind of very winsome Naiji look.
Right.
If you look at it, you realize, oh, she's very watchful, but it's not done in a way that makes you think immediately you're looking at a huntress. Yours?
Naiji Amelie Bosredon. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is one that I wasn't sure if you're gonna have enough media. She's in a duo with it's a French group called Jupiter. It's her and her partner. And I was like dead certain that they were Nijais, but I wasn't sure which one was the Naiji and which one was the Nijai. I'm not sure if you got him later on, but
Not sure.
if she's Naiji, do you have him on this rotation?
No, I don't think so, but I'll look into who is he?
I'll send you the name again. Carl's Bazadon.
Okay.
Carl with a Q. It's a French version. But anyways, yeah, that's really cool. I was like almost positive that they were Nijais, but
yeah, there was.
Yeah, that makes.
You're saying? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, unfortunately, of media.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a lot to go on, but I felt that I was reading it here. Like right here, she really kind of jumps out as a huntress to me.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely. Yeah, this is the band that I noticed a while back, and it's like, oh, this person seems really cool.
All right, Bijay Esther Dean.
Oh, she's a Vijay. This one is really big. This one is like written for Rihanna, Maroon 5, like everybody. This one is like one of the top line writers. Top line writers are people that like writes the sort of like the hook or the melody kind of thing. You know, it's not the producer, but it's like someone who writes like the vocals and the lyrics and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
And she was also in the movie Pitch Perfect. And I thought that she would have been a Jinai, actually. A Jivai, sorry. A Jivai.
Yeah, I had to look. I had to look to make sure, but I don't think so.
Okay. Now, yeah, I can see Vijay. But yeah, I mean, this one.
You know, all these
got
right now are going to be like soft reads until the end of the year. We're going to kind of just put them all up there soft, and then we'll purify it together and get firmer. So I'll definitely want to take a look at her again because I had to weigh that. And I wouldn't mind weighing it again in the future when we know more of this bubble. But I think right now I'm seeing Vijay.
Cool. And yeah, I can see that with the chin and like the roundness. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen Expectancy. We can come back. Because that's actually when it comes up quite a bit, is telling apart the obscens and the adsens. You?
Yeah. Oh, this one's on Nizai. Cool. Nizai Hannah Diamond. This is another artist that Adema also really likes, and I also really like. And she does a pretty interesting sort of like a new, like a kind of conceptual art. It's sort of like a parody of pop music.
Interesting.
It's like she's basically like paints herself up as fake as possible.
Gotcha.
To sort of like, it's sort of a satire of pop music, but at the same time, not really, because like she really loves pop music, and you know that those are her real influences. It's just she does it in sort of an indie, sort of like ironic kind of way.
Gotcha. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, and I would have thought she was an IG.
Ah,
You don't see a lot of Nizai doing this kind of. Oh,
no,
cool. And
you do see a lot of in vlogging, but not in music art as much.
yeah,
Vishai Beth
um,
Ditto. Do you know who she is?
yeah. This one also had several really big songs a few years back. She's the lead singer for a band called The Gossip.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right. Last one is yours. This is a different, a rare one.
Cool. Ziny James Uringer.
Yep. Boom. Not sure exactly what he's doing. It looks like a kind of bit of a punk rock thing going on.
Yeah, I don't remember requesting him, although I may have. I think I only put ladies on that list because that's
I may have just
what we focus on.
grabbed him because I saw him somewhere and was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah,
Nice.
he may have been on one of the channels. You may have seen him while watching the interviews.
Yeah, that had to sometimes. I'm like, ooh, that looks interesting. But anyway, a Ziny, we need lots more Ziny and Ziny music artists we don't have a lot of, so that's really cool. I'm sure Demas like to know about that.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're waiting for, oh, there he is. Mitchell is here. Boom. All righty. Bruno, thank you very much. Do it again soon. Have a good night.
Thanks. You guys too.
All right. Mitchell is here, and we'll be covering tennis and STEM. All right. So with me, I have Naiji Mitchell, a level 24 pod layer practitioner. We're going to get into it. All right. Let's do what we did last time, Mitchell. That seemed to work well. 10 minutes tennis, 20 minutes STEM.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because I think the STEM tends to stimulate more conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. But tennis has been a very good earner.
For emojis that we don't.
Yes. So thank goodness we have tennis. All right. Do you see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. First up. Oh, and we'll take turns. I'll take odds. You take evens. All right. This is Zyvi Santiago Giraldo.
I have heard of him. No, you're good.
He's interesting because his cheeks are pretty sheer. It kind of that's I mean, as a emoji reader that pops right away. But I can see if you weren't trained emoji reading that the sort of poutiness of his lips might jump out more. And as a discerner, the discerner, they do naturally pop out more. But do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
there's a lot of attitude conveyed in those lips, even though it's localized. I'm not sure.
It is, and this lower lip looks kind of strong.
All right, next one will be yours.
Zyvi Olga Gavortsova. Not 100% sure I pronounced that right, but
Yeah, she definitely looks like I get a riff of her strongly of like the models. She looks like a literal Ziny.
yeah, she does seem to be doing like kind of a model-esque pose.
Yeah, right. More so
In
than
that photo, like she has like her hair done, and
definitely.
and the one on the right, looks like she's wearing gear.
Yeah, but a different kind of vibe than some of the others I do we've seen as far as how she poses herself. Interesting. All right, Zyvi Gerard Granulars. I mangled that. Anyway, Zyvi, slightly wide face, but rather localized.
Yeah.
He has a thing you see the Z Alpha 2 is he's got like flatness in the cheeks. You see that there?
Yes.
And then there's this subplate. Even under this where there's the crinkle, there's this subplate here. And this subplate also is sheer as compared to, say, a V-Zi or knee-Zi or something like that, where the cheeks have that plate quality, but in here, in this area, you see more crinklage, more facial fascia flexing.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen that kind of smile before with Ziny mathematicians. It's pretty similar.
All right, this is yours.
Zyv Sam Groth.
Pretty
Groth.
classic. Zyv Andreas Hader Muir. He's one that has more of an oval face. So I had to kind of like take it in like his hairstyle and his oval face is being like a Zyv, because the Zyv tend to be a little more oval that way, and also frequently have this kind of hairstyle. But I don't think I've seen those cheeks move, and the mouth, the smile looks aware. That looks different, but he's kind of, if that makes any sense. He's one I had to like make sure I wasn't seeing a Zyv, but I don't think I am. Like I told Bruno, these are all soft reads until we get towards the end of the year. We got a lot more built up, and we'll firm things up with purification. I look forward to purifying this with you. That'd be fun. Never done that before. But right now we're kind of just put up lightly, and I think it's Zyv. But I did pause on him a bit to weigh between the Bez towers.
Yeah, he does have that like soccer haircut-ish thing.
Next one's yours.
That's indeed. Zyv Pierre Hughes Herbert.
He's cool because he actually looks pretty solidly Zyv to me, but I can also see that he has it looks to me like a lot of Nye. So he's looking here, he's not just doing like a Zy gaze, it's like a Zy and Nye. He's got that very detached look. So I can see how this might confuse some people that he was a Nye G. Do you know what I mean?
And he has a nice smile.
I'm sorry, say again?
Isn't he has a nice smile?
Exactly. He has his Nye energy. He has a very aware smile that's engaged, sensitive looking, and then his eyes really look like they're kind of looking at you. But I believe there's still a chilly frost on them, and that the cheeks aren't moving very much.
They certainly don't look like they are from these few pictures.
He's got good development there on the modulation powers.
Yeah, it's probably worth glancing at again.
IV, Polana Hercog, pretty classic.
Yeah, her I think is very, very classic. Just long face, very, very. Just the frost covers it.
Yeah, and then that localized
eyes.
Very localized.
Really, very little doubt with her.
Classique. All right, here you go. This is yours.
Zyv Marcel Ilhan.
It's cool. I'm getting because I have more Zy need to go from. I don't know if how familiar you are, but on the right picture here, he kind of reminds me of like a literal David Tennant.
David Tennant? Who's that again? Sounds familiar.
He's a Zynee. He played Doctor Who. He's also the villain Purple Man from Jessica Jones. David
Interesting.
Tennant. Anyway, yeah. Cool. Because, it's been riffing more, with, say, Zynee between the Nye Z or Knee Zy. But now these more Zyv samples coming in, there's more riffs popping up there, too. It's nice.
The literals.
And on the left one, he reminds me of a laser-eyed, literal chess player. There's a lot of chess players that kind of look like him, except they have dancing eyes.
I love to see those.
That's me, Zyv Tatsumo Ito. Pretty classic, but it's nice to get the different ethnicities in there.
Yeah, there's factors of there's Zyv Asian tennis players. He reminds me of. Like, what's his face?
Yeah, very good, very sheer. Lots of frosting. And then on the right, he's actually giving a good smile, but here you can see again that Zez Alpha, large face first, the cheek plate, and then also, I only call it the mustache plate, or you know what I mean? But there's also very little crinkling in here. Which is interesting, if you don't look at it, he's actually putting a lot of energy, so the cheeks are moving, this is moving because the lips are moving, but this expanse isn't doing anything other than the whole piece is moving up, showing a lot of teeth and a lot of energy. And these cheeks are elevating in the face, but the cheeks themselves aren't actually flexing very much. Cool, I'm enjoying kind of dialing into that fine point, telling apart the Zez Alpha and Zez Tandem. I guess this is you.
All right. Zyv Jersey Janowicz. He's a different look to him.
He does.
Looks very bookish more.
Yeah,
But
right?
maybe it's just the glasses, so like I don't know if I'm being stereotyping here.
He definitely looks immediately Xi Alpha, but if I didn't know he was like a tennis player, I might linger longer on him being Xi Ni.
Yeah.
But his eyes do have that more clear-eyed pharaoh look. There's more of a, well, there's the dreamy quality, which is a cool thing that the Xi have, but the Zyvi in counterpart, there's like a vigor. Do you know what I mean? They have a vigor to them that the Xi don't share as much, which is why they're a little more yang. Where you can really see that a lot is in their gesturing. You know what I'm talking about? Between the Zyvi gesturing.
That's interesting. No, I don't know. I mean, I know abstractly what you're talking about, but maybe not as concretely.
They don't quite have that crystalline look like the Xi do. It looks more like our hands if they lost tensioning. Do you know what I mean? But not that crystalline look that the Xi have, where like the pads of the tips like go backwards naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean by how the Nez Towers have very yin gesturing. Yeah, maybe it's more like, I'm trying to think of a word to describe it, but it's sort of hard.
All right, last two. Bizai, got a Bizai guy in there.
Yeah.
Malik Jaziri.
There we go.
You can see the bigger smile, more cheek action, and the eyes are brighter.
You can see like his. I wanted to see that now that we were talking about it. His upper lip goes up more into that area.
It does. Right? You can see that muscle, the facial posture. It's like lifting the lip. The lip's not just moving on its own. That area above it's like pulling up with it.
Yeah. But the cheeks are still.
Yeah.
Sure, it's
complete. Still doesn't move. All right. Oh, let me go back to that one. Erase it. Anyway. All right. The last one is yours.
Zyvi Steve Johnson. Pretty classic.
Pretty classic.
Long face. Clearly neutralized. Clearly literal VIs.
Yeah. Clear eyes.
Not a whole lot to say.
Yeah. Classic name, Steve Johnson. All righty. That takes care of tennis. We're now going to move on to STEM. Seeing it?
I am seeing it.
Right. First one up, Naiji Richard Hamming.
Interesting. He's one of the ones I requested.
Yeah, what do you know about him?
He's a very, very, very important mathematician, particularly when it comes to computer science and telecommunications, like it says right there. He invented just all kinds of techniques and stuff that are like critical to the way all these things work.
Ooh.
It's got a lot of stuff named after him.
All right. So, next up is yours.
Someone requested Zion Jeffrey Hinton, computer scientist specializing in artificial neural networks. And he's a great-great-grandson of one of the greatest logicians of all time, George Boole, who invented Boolean algebra. I wonder if he was a Zion.
Quite possibly.
I don't know if it's paternal.
Right.
But even if it's not paternal, it's still the same family, so it makes it somewhat likely.
Yeah.
But I'm not not a certainty I would actually call it that, but it definitely makes sense.
Definitely intriguing. All right, next up, Nizai Gerardus Hooft, a Nobel Prize winner for physics. Good amount of Vi going on there.
Yeah. Compared to most of the physicists we've seen, he's doing a little more of like a. But I mean, there is some of them. Like a lot of the Nizai, I think, just in science in general, tend to have a fair amount of Vi.
Yeah. Yeah. On the right, I forget his name. There's a Nizai comedian. He does one of the voices in Archer. Anyway, he often portrays like professional people, but who are actually off. So he actually does like, you know what I mean, the crazy knee, but while looking very serious, except he keeps doing goofy stuff. That's kind of like one of the specialties he does. Anyway, that guy just reminded me of a little bit there. All right, this was yours.
Xeni, Mary Lou Jepson, founding chief technology officer of One Laptop per Child.
Good job.
Yeah. One of those Xeni tech officers we see quite a few of.
Indeed.
That seems to be really where they start picking up.
Xeni, Brian Josephson, Nobel Prize in Physics. Not familiar with this, what he did. He has a little bit of a fuller face.
A little bit. Yeah, he does. Like his cheeks, they're kind of fleshy.
Yeah.
In a way. Not like B, but I just mean like they have a lot. They're like.
No, I know what you mean. One thing's helped with that. Some of the chess players I've been looking into recently when I was working with Demas before. Some of them are more sedentary, and so they gain a little more weight. And so I've gotten used to looking at some fuller face Xeni.
Yeah, because a lot of Xeni have that very thin face quality. It's probably the more classic one, but yeah,
Definitely. All right, this one's yours.
YZ Scott Kelly, astronaut.
And I will take his brother. Dun dun dun. YZ Mark Kelly.
Are they like twins?
I know, right?
That would be so cool.
I don't know if they're twins. They look very close.
Maybe it could actually be brothers. They have the same name.
I believe they are. I believe they are brothers.
Okay.
But I don't know. But I don't know if they're twins.
Yeah, they might not be, but they're pretty
All right.
cool.
This next one will be yours.
Nijai Mary Claire King, geneticist, discoverer of the probably important cancer gene.
Nice.
I don't know much about it, but
Same here. But it's impressive. The Nijai guys and girls tend to show up a bit in like neurology, and
life sciences.
Life sciences. Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. They do, and neuroscience they're big into. I guess that might be considered a life science in part.
All right. Xeni, Donald Knuth.
That's another big one.
Oh, what's he?
He's just another very foundational figure in computer science.
Yeah, I had to look at him a bit because he has a fuller face, but his cadence was always this languid, and I believe his fingers were spider.
Just invented a lot of the stuff. It's like kind of the standard material.
All right, this one's yours.
Nizai Makoto Kobayashi. The Nizai physicist.
Pretty
Got
classic.
like the narrowed eye look. So I mean, he probably has on a vibe too, but he does. It looks pretty loose though.
It does, right?
Like he doesn't look hinged to me. I wouldn't say that. Like some of the other Nizai.
Yeah, agreed.
He doesn't look constrained.
All right, Xeni, Lev Landau, physics. Pretty classic right there.
Pretty classic, yeah. He looks just Xeni.
Yeah. All right, last one is yours.
All right, Nizi. Amy Mainzer, scientist and entrepreneur. I love when we get the Nizi in there.
I know, right? Mixed up some.
And there's an Nizi right above her. Just happens to be one of the Nizi computer hackers.
Aha, that's right. Andy Mueller
I
Megum.
remember multi-rational requesting him a while ago. And I got him wrong with his. But
Well, we went through those pretty fast, so we have a little bit of time left. So we can chat some more, and we can also do some live reading. One thing I did want to throw past you is we're doing tennis together and also STEM. And so I was thinking of other ones that we might want to be getting into in the future. And an area that you seem to be also interested in is this kind of corollary to STEM, which is consciousness, sort of like philosophy, psychology, spirituality, religion, consciousness.
very much so. Yeah,
So
it's
I
kind of
think
all one thing for me. But
yeah, and I look at it the same way as well. So that would be a fun one to get into. I think it actually would naturally segue nicely from STEM because I think they kind of have a lot to say with each other as far as how things are going.
exactly, my thoughts exactly.
Okay, we have a little bit of time left because the collages didn't generate much discussion this time. Do you have a read from either of these bubbles you'd like to look at?
Probably a lot.
Right. Can I pick one?
But I was curious about something though. I actually want to ask you because you've started getting through more of the ones that I requested of you, so I'll probably have sent some more in. So we don't do too many. But you said so for this because we are doing a lot of soft reading. Even if they just have pictures, that is enough as long as they're decent pictures. But
yeah,
I mean, with the caveat that it's definitely a soft read.
Well, we talk about today.
Well, today I assume you'd want to look at video, but
yeah, because when it comes to things that are less than standard sufficiency, I never like to go in for anything specific to read like that. I just read the whole bubble, and then some of them I just feel I can pick off, but I never actually go in for a specific one using less media. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't want me to send one in if it was only pictures.
No, I would want it because I would just add it to the overall collage, and I'll keep scrolling
and see if it just kind of pops out. Exactly. I got you. No expectations that it will, because it's not like that's fair. Yeah, because I have a few samples like that.
But if there's two decent pictures, two decent pictures, then I don't mind adding to the collection.
But I assume for tonight we might as well look at one that actually has video.
Yeah, if I'm actually going to go in specifically to turn one, I'll need I
think I have some. Could have requested one for my quiz, but that's not a good idea. I have a few scientists on there, but not too many. I try to not put too many scientists on there because I wanted to save them for this.
That's cool.
But here's one that I haven't read.
Cool. You load video up there.
David. I think he's a neuroscientist. It's video. Looks like he has media. Yeah, he does. All right, let's do that.
Do it.
David Eagleman. Power of the subconscious.
Oh, hey, Mitchell, I don't know if it'll work, but it'd be cool if we could find some sort of cool, counterpoint to STEM as an acronym for this consciousness block, you know what I mean? The religion, spirituality, philosophy, psychology.
Yeah. Like just one more overarching framework name.
STEM does sound pretty cool.
Yeah. STEM's pretty good. I don't know who came up with that exactly. Here it is. Are you seeing the video?
I am.
Okay, so you're on YouTube. Good. So this is David Eagleman. I think he's a neuroscientist.
He's talking now, right?
No.
Oh, that's the interviewer?
That's the interviewer. The other guy's David Eagleman. That's David Eagleman.
Thank you.
My first thought is that he seemed like he has a lot more elongated features to me. Like his face, at least. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm still taking that in. I'm also taking in his hand movements seem rather quick, but I don't know what that means yet.
Yeah, like you don't want to maybe lead too far away from gather that could possibly be.
I don't.
Oh, it could be.
At this point, I'm still open to most things.
That's an interesting hand movement.
Yeah. I think I know what I'm looking at, but I'll let you keep reading and see what you can come up with, and I'll solidify mine. I have a soft read going now.
Okay. To be honest, I kind of already had something in mind.
What is that? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm not like so confident in it, but his mode of expression seems pretty localized. I was thinking maybe Ziny, but I'm not sure. I'm not firm on it. This is, I mean, his face looks, but I want to look at his eyes more. Give that a fair chance.
This guy looks familiar. Who's interviewing him? I think we read him at some point.
We may have. I don't know his name either. Maybe he's just one of those like science interviewers on like a show. Yeah, I don't know about Ziny though.
I think I might be seeing Nizai here.
Okay.
His hand looks loose, but not. I'm not seeing like. I don't think the elongation
and maybe not as calming. Maybe the speed is a little more emphasized.
I think
like
so.
Somewhat calming, obviously, if he's an adaptive at all. But I mean,
yeah, he speaks well too. But like you were saying, I don't think I'm seeing the cheeks move much at all.
Yeah.
Let's see another video.
Sure. I think he has quite a few. He's breaking media. I think I was actually considering.
His hands seemed a little tighter and faster cadence than a Ziny.
Yeah.
But his face is long. I'd like to see another video.
Yeah, his face is long, but I see his eye. All right, I'll just get on it. Those are TED Talks. Here's one. It's like very focused on his face too. Okay. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm seeing Gumby Claw. But I am trying out Ziny, and I'm also trying out Nijai. And Nijai as well. But so far, I'm using them for myself to kind of disprove if the Nizai guess is off. I'm trying to see if I can knock my Nizai guess off.
Yeah. Part of the issue I have with Nijez is just that his moding just really doesn't seem like it's going up to me.
Yeah. And he's talking quite a bit, and
even warmly. I mean, it's not like he's it's not like restraining himself, like specifically. Doesn't look like.
Yeah,
and his eyes.
I keep seeing this. He keeps his hand like this a lot.
And Nizai, like when they speak, or like Nialp, when they get excited about the ideas, they do this thing where they're like lift up and their eyes get really bright. And he does that a lot when he speaks, whereas Ziny don't really do that a lot.
No, not as much.
Or it looks more like kind of extreme when they do.
What is it he does?
I think a neuroscientist. Yeah, he's a neuroscientist and writer, Baylor College of Medicine, and he studies like neuroscience and law and
Interesting.
neuroscience of perception. It's won a few awards and stuff.
All right, I'm gonna take a look at pictures real quick.
Sure. It's spelled phonetically, just like you would think. Bit of an eagle man. Yeah, Chris has a lot of eye energy, and he's still in the pictures. Like there, he's like really kind of looking.
Here's one.
Hey Ben.
Because this is a. Oh, hey Ben. Here's the thing that makes you think it's an east eye. For example, do you see that picture, Mitchell?
I'll take a look. Redirects.
Because that's a classic
Yes,
thing.
there it is. Yeah, I was just looking at that one.
It's if that was a Zine, I think it would look different in his hand.
Yeah, and his eyes too. They really look like they're looking up, and it's not as much the mouth that I see emphasized.
All right,
Yeah,
so
he was kind of
soft knee Zine him.
I found him kind of tricky at first, but that was a good one to do.
It was a good one to do.
Okay.
Alrighty, Mitchell, thank you very much. We dropped 24 new reads on the world. So there, we helping lighten the world a little bit.
24 plus 1 soft read.
There you go. All right. Have a good night, Mitchell.
See you guys.
Good night, Mitchell.
And see you then.
Alrighty. So now I have with me Najee Ben, a level 24 pilot air practitioner, and he and I are going to go crazy on U.S. politics.
Awesome.
All right. So Ben, the politics, we're going to get a lot of the mojos we've seen before. So things I want to kind of focus on is just one, seeing the different riffs, because we're going to be seeing a lot of the same three, Vaiji, Vizi, and Xenai, but the different variations of them. Do you know what I mean? Trying to really, and especially, you know, as we do this and journalism and world leaders and so forth and business, all four of those, I'll be working with you. You and I will be seeing those same three mojos and over again in all four of those bubbles. So that's going to become a very specialized thing, which is important because, I mean, for like quizzing, that's a major block. There's 4 major bubbles where those 3 mojos are the main 3. So really being able to tell apart.
And riffs are really important for that, being able to take them and samples them and read. So.
And then also, this kind of show and tell, so that while we're going through them, anything that you want to sound out about what's going on with the presidential election or what's on your mind about politics in general, that's a nice little just backdrop conversation to have as we go through. Sound good?
Sure thing. Sounds good.
All right, we'll do what we did last time, Ben. We'll go with, I'll call out odds and you call out evens.
All right.
All righty. Let me know if you see it now.
I see it. See it by Z. Greg Abbott, as usual.
All right. So I'm up first. Vizi, Steve Cohen. One thing's interesting about him, I guess maybe because I have more experience here, he kind of reminds me a bit of the Vizi like businessmen and Vizi like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Not so much politics.
Yeah, he kind of has a look on his face where he's. I mean, it's hard to describe, but it seems kind of. His eyes look kind of almost glazed in a way. I don't know, like I'm not sure.
Yeah, there definitely seems like a distance between him and the audience more than some of the other Vi's emails I've seen. Interesting. I have no idea what that means, so maybe it'll.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a quality to it. I don't really know what word to use, but it's
yeah, it's a little different than some of the other ones you've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kind of like thing that came kind of mind, like.
I guess he kind of looks high class. I guess just his face. I don't know. Like.
No, I see what you're saying though, because you know what? I was thinking of actually Warren Buffett. You know the business whiz and financier.
I'm not familiar.
But anyway, he has like this business mogul look a bit more than a politician.
Yeah. I definitely get that quality. Yeah, like I mean, he kind of looks like he could be a very rich man or something. Just looking.
Probably is.
So,
All right, this is you.
Vaji Barbara Comstock.
All right, nice to see some Visey ladies. We do not have a lot of them. We have way fewer ladies than guys.
Yeah.
Her smile, because with the showing the teeth and the gum a little bit, reminds a little bit of Vaji Greta Van Susteren, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think I get that quality. Yeah.
That Fox News actor.
I haven't watched Oliver, but I think that I do have that familiarity. Yeah.
All right, this is me, Visey Jim Cooper. There you go.
He was a very like his jawline is very interesting, and he has a very like stern look on his face in the picture on the left.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he'd be like a lawyer or something.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
A lot of these guys from Congress, they do have a law background.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looks like he could be a lawyer. There's a very serious look on his face.
This one's you?
Visey Kevin Kramer.
He's got the squinty eye going on.
Yeah, he seems a little bit more kinder, bit more polite, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Almost like he's trying to do the Visey thing a bit.
Yeah.
Although his mouth still has that expected.
He seems to be a bit more approachable than other Visey I've seen.
Yeah, that's true. It's cool getting these riffs of Visey to tell apart. All right, I'm up next. 5. But what is going on with the election anyway? Maybe I guess if that comes up naturally, anyway, we can talk at the end. Sorry.
Oh no, it's totally fine.
But if anything pops in your head, go ahead. But this is another Visey, Ander Crenshaw. He reminds me a little of the Bushes.
Yeah, and also of the first sample that was in the collage. His last name was Abbott or whatever.
Yeah. In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Interesting. A rare one.
Oh, it was a Visey Lee. Yeah, Visey Rosa Ella DeLaro.
Nice. Yeah, the way she's styling herself and everything, you might think immediately Visey, but I was like, wait a minute, that mouth doesn't look right though.
Yeah. Yeah, the mowing definitely isn't going up.
Alrighty, Visey Charles W. Dent. Pretty classic, except his face is a little round.
Yeah. I kind of like, but with his mouth, I thought of like Piers Morgan at first. I mean, not necessarily like his face in general, but just like certain aspects of his face.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, because actually, I did the same thing. I went a little bit different order. I went the eyes and the mouth, but his face is kind of bigger and fleshier than some Visey. So what I did is I kind of zoned in on his eyes and the mouth area, like you did. And I was like, that looks Visey to me. I think he just has a big head.
Yeah.
He's a big uns. All right, this one's yours.
Visey Lloyd Goggins.
Classic. That looks pretty classic Visey.
Yeah, very dry look in his face. Cheeks.
Very grave, very serious.
Droopy eye mouth.
This is a serious world. Okay. All right. Visey Robert J. Dole. More an upbeat Visey. But still the unaware, expectant mouth. Cheeks don't move much. Got good money though. His eyes got a bit of a sparkle.
Yeah, definitely. He seems a little bit cooler in that way.
You?
Visey Elliott Angel. He kind of looks like he could be like a salesman or like a businessman.
Definitely, yeah.
It's like I can imagine this guy like knocking on my door and like wanting to sell me something. I don't know.
Yeah, or he looks at me also like he'd be, I don't know, like an accountant or like some sort of administrator, school administrator or something. I don't know.
Like with the mustache and everything now.
Right. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit here on the left. Do you know who the comedian John Cleese is?
No.
He's a Monty Python. Anyway, he kind of reminds me of like a literal John Cleese.
Oh yeah. I think I might be familiar with him, just not the name. I watched some Monty Python.
Okay, there you go. All right, Baiji John Fleming. He's a little scary looking.
Yeah, he's kind of got a really wide face. Like he almost could look like a Nizai. Like if I didn't know he was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He has a lot of knee in this picture. Which one on the left? He's got a lot of knee and a lot of G. He's like, hey.
But then you realize like his face is just kind of like a board that board like it, but you can still see the bowling coil and stuff.
Dude looks intense. You look intense, sir.
Yeah, and the expression is too intense from the Vietnamese side.
Not that Nizai can't be intense in their own way, but not in that like just staring at you way. You know what I mean? Like the dude was like staring at me.
Yep.
You're up, sir.
Baiji Randy Forbes.
Yeah, he looks like a lot of the business CEOs.
Yeah.
Like good-natured, but also like impeccably dressed and very watchful and meticulous, careful.
Yeah, he's got like this charisma to him. Yeah, that tends to be, I think, probably a little bit more favored in business than politics. Kind of a people person kind of guy is what I get from him, with it from the smile and so forth. Someone who knows how to communicate and group up with people very well.
Good to have.
Of course, it's quite valued in politics too. But
oh yeah, I think it probably also depends on what kind of style of politics you play, and also maybe what kind of business CEO you are. You know what I mean? Maybe I think some CEOs, it's maybe run more like a law office, where other ones, it's more like you're the captain of a ship or something in a way where you have to. I guess both of you captains of the ship. You know what I mean? Like one where there's more interpersonal push and pull as part of being leader, as opposed to technical push and pull.
Yeah, exactly. The individual roles you have are going to vary depending on the role you want to play, say in politics or business, or what you happen to be playing.
You'll probably get a lot of practice in the riff differences here at these bubbles. Next one up. Oh, here you go, a little different. Bam. Haven't seen the Xenon for a while.
Oh, this is mine? Yeah, Xenon Paul Frame. His
Classic.
face is really like, I mean, it's just,
Pow.
just hits you, right? I mean, it's like the whole face hits you. It's not really, I mean, I'm probably more hit by the mouth than the eyes, but it's like.
But overall, the energy is very forward.
Yeah, and we talked about this before, where like with Z9, it feels more like it's just kind of a blocking you as opposed to the eyes from like a hunter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool sample. All right. It's cool because he's got like the classic Z9 look, and then he has like this professor glasses on. It's like a neat juxtaposition.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. By Z Rodney Freeling Houston.
Yeah, it kind of looks like some like an administrator,
Very
school or
serious.
something. I don't know, or a business.
Yeah, right.
But he's like overlooking your work, supervising you.
Quality control. That's you.
Baiji Stephen Fulop.
All right. Boom. Pretty classic.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't so classic, the media, he was a little fuzzy, but I think I can see it there. Baiji John Garamendi. Look at that smile.
Yeah, he's got that big face, big smile, but eyes are very like very pinched, very
Very set.
very set.
Kind of, they had this heaviness to it. All right. More. That's you, Mayor of Los Angeles.
Oh, I thought it was. Is it? Okay, yeah. my bad. I lost track. Vaiji Eric Garcetti.
He looks like he could be like a journalist or something.
Yeah, yeah. Also, his facial features are a little bit more sheer than.
Yeah, the cheeks.
Yeah, I might from another bubble. I might think of maybe I guess by Z or maybe Zini or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. His lips are also a bit refined and thin.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. IG Robert Garcia.
He's got a very full face and also really good emoting, I think.
Yeah.
And me, I think.
Definitely. So he's got this kind of the squinty eyes there.
Yeah.
Because the G, as far as I can tell, the G.
Oh, and he's the mayor of your city. It looks like.
Yeah, yeah, that's
nice.
True. But his eyes, they're not being overtaken by the G. It's cresting right up under it here, smiling right there.
Yeah, I know Spy-G, a lot of them can be like that, where they just have really good emote game, really good knee.
And then he's got a really good, like I said, a really big smile and a fuller face. It can, be easier to see what's going on and really zone in on the eyes. All right. Boom.
Vaiji, Louis B. Gomert Jr.
Oh, goodness. That's quite the handle, sir. Straightforward.
Yeah. I mean, I can see he has a significant amount of Zai, it looks like.
Yeah. Good point. He does have a good amount of Zai.
Especially on the picture, I guess, on the left. Like, it seems like kind of... I mean, you can see, like, concern in the eyes. He's kind of doing a little bit of a knee brow lift. But, like, it seems like there's a significant amount of his eye cooling as well in that expression.
Yeah.
Although he's doing some mowing, obviously, but...
No, definitely. You're right on that. By Z Bob Goodlot.
He kind of looks like that other dude we saw before, who described kind of looked like a lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's cool. It's nice we started seeing repeat back on riffs. Like, aha, starting to get the hang of this. There you go.
Vaiji Trey Gowdy.
He looks like an NBA coach or something.
He's someone who's been really critical of Hillary Clinton, her email scandal.
Is he?
He laid out a case against her or something on that.
Is he a Republican then?
I believe so.
Is his background law? A lot of the Vaiji sometimes have backgrounds in law.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah. I was just curious. You said he was really going after. Gotcha.
Yeah. That could be. That there's probably a pretty good chance of that. Although I don't know.
Gotcha. All right. Look into more later. Next up. You know what? I want to know. I have to know.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like sometimes I see stuff in the news, but I kind of skim the headline and the article and stuff. I'm not.
But I'm just curious. Yeah, if he's going after, is it just because he's particularly offended or think it's weak or whatever? Oh, here we go. Yep. Harold Watson Trey Gowdy is an American attorney, politician, and former prosecutor. So he's trying to prosecute her.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because he, that was a court or some sort of legal thing.
I got it. Yep. All right, two more. Vaiji Gwen Graham. Nice. She's pretty classic, but it's cool we don't have a lot of them. Still great. That looks like a Vaiji.
Really interesting riff. Of the Vaiji ladies I've seen, I haven't seen one that looks so much like her. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's
honestly, if I were to try to draw a riff, it'd probably be from some Naiji lady.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's why I was saying why she's kind of neat samples that I don't think I've seen one like her, but she to me just pops out as a Vaiji.
Yeah, she's got kind of a thinner face, and she's, I guess, she's yeah.
But now that we have her, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we start using her to riff on other people now that we have this one to go off of.
Yeah. It's sets a kind of a stone, I guess, or like I don't know, it's like a flag.
It is exactly first block, because she does she herself riffs off of several like Naiji. She looks like a literal Naiji.
Yeah, yeah, and she's got good knee too. It looks like as far as a lot of the Vaiji ladies are going to, but
they do tend to have more knee than their male counterparts. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one. This is you.
Vaiji Keg Ranger.
All right, one more Vaiji lady to the mix. All right, boom. That is another 24 samples we put out. Ben, they were never put out before.
Awesome.
Up in the world.
Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of Vaiji and also a Vaiji lady as well. So that's really good.
Right.
It seems like the deeper we go into this, we're gonna just find more and more of these. It's just
yeah, that's one thing is when you flip bubbles is trying to find out what is about you can get most excited about. So since we're seeing the same three mojos, I think one thing that's most exciting is the riffing.
Yeah, I think that's part of what I find the most valuable too, for the most part. I mean, there's other aspects too, but as far as collaging goes, riffing is like really powerful because you can just look at them and go like, okay, I know what that person generally looks like. Whereas video, I mean, you can gain a lot of insight from riffing, but it's more like you're consuming everything you can about the person, and taking a more like holistic approach. So it's kind of interesting. The different methods for mojoring, some of the things to focus on.
Very true. Very true. So we have a few more minutes left. So what's going on recently with the presidential?
Oh yeah. So
race?
I mean, yeah. So again, the focus has been pretty heavily on like whether Donald Trump will clinch the nomination. Earlier this week, he won. There were 5 primaries in the northeastern part of the United States: Rhode Island, Delaware, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and one other state I can't remember. But basically, Donald Trump does really well in the Northeast. It seems to be have a lot of people who are white, a lot of people who seem to be more in line with his positions and values and so forth, as far as on the GOP side is concerned. But essentially what happened is that he outperformed his expectations considerably. He won all 5 states by over 50% and took the vast majority of the delegates. It was predicted he would do well there, but he did even better than the polls were showing. So it looks like he's in a very, very good position right now where, like, if he wins, if next week on Tuesday, there's going to be Indiana. And Indiana is really important because it has the largest number of delegates of the remaining states. It has 57 delegates, and it is a winner-take-all state. On the GOP side, there are some states that are winner-take-all, where like if you I mean, exactly as it implies, if you get the highest plurality, you instantly get all the delegates. Whereas there are other states that are more proportional, so those don't really matter as much because I mean it's just gonna 1 percentage point or a few percentage points won't really make that much of a difference. But basically, Indiana is so important because of the highest number of remaining delegates out of the winner-take-all states. It is a winner-take-all state, and also it's a winner-take-all state that isn't really very clear, like which way it's going to go. It's very contested. There was one poll that was released today that only had Trump up by 2 points. So, if Cruz wins there, then he has a potential opening to potentially still stop him. However, Donald Trump has been doing so well recently that if he takes that state, then he's almost certainly going to clinch the nomination. It's going to be very difficult to stop him at that point. We're at the stage where like there's only like a month and a half left of primaries. So if Cruz cannot manage to stop him from taking all the delegates there, it's going to be very difficult to prevent him from just outright clinching the nomination. And I think even if Trump loses, he would still have a pretty decent path just because he's been doing so well. So it's interesting.
Interesting and frightening.
yeah, because like Indiana normally isn't like state you think about, like when these things are going on. I mean, it comes like so late in the calendar. Usually at this point, like in the process, it's already like completely clear who the nominee is going to be. But because Trump is in such a weird position where like his party does not want him to get nominated, and he's like just at a fringe area where like he might barely make it, or he might barely fall short of clinching the nomination on the first ballot, where it's like possible that like he could be stopped if he doesn't, if delegates start getting released and voting for whoever they want to vote for. It's a very unique situation for sure.
And then it's interesting, like his own party, like was it Boehner said he was Lucifer?
He said what? Oh, Lucifer. Yeah. I think that may have been Ted Cruz, but it's still.
Oh, okay. You're right. Yeah. But scary though that the two people that are actually out in front, no one really seems to like, but the trolls, even their own party's like, so awful.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of it seems like the party's pretty factional right now. Like a lot of conservatives who are running, who are like in contested who are running for Senate and so forth, and governors and so forth, and are running in contests that are running for re-election in a where it's going to be competitive, where the other side could realistically win. They're often for the most part they're choosing not to endorse anyone because it could very easily look bad regardless of what they do. Because like if you endorse Ted Cruz and Donald Trump as the nominee, that's like, wow, you endorse the dude who who basically stopped the person who is going to try to stop the person who clearly has the most votes from getting the nomination. And if you vote for Donald Trump, wow, then you just vote. Or sorry, if you endorse Donald Trump, then wow, you just endorse Donald Trump, right? So,
exactly.
So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. So Republicans are pretty much staying on the sidelines as much as they can for the most part. And there are some that are endorsing, but even then, it's like, I mean, no, there's a lot of division. Like there's I think there's like maybe a third of the like I think Ted Cruz only has like 3 times the number of endorsements of Donald Trump, which is, I mean, that's still pretty bad. I mean, if you think of it, like Donald Trump has like this businessman who has like no political experience whatsoever is getting a third as many endorsements as the
That's crazy. So. And then there's the thing what Trump said recently about Hillary. He actually, I think, played into her hands a bit by saying that she wouldn't have the job she has now, or basically she would be doing as well as she was in this race if it wasn't because she was a woman, that she wouldn't get like 5%. And then he's already been criticized for being a misogynist. That's just like giving them all the ammunition they need, isn't he?
It's kind of playing to her attack strategy. Like that kind of just proves her point that there is misogyny, and that kind of supports, because her platform is heavily based on fighting for groups of people who aren't who are being discriminated against and aren't given their fair shake. So I mean, she's been doing that through our entire campaign. So that basically fuels her campaign message right there. Like, this is why you should elect me. I mean, it just gives her a good justification for her message, that this really is a problem, and that's really that's really the core of what people try to use to counter that message. They say, well, it isn't that as big of a deal as you're making it, right? Or it's not really a big deal, right?
Or he's not really a misogynist. I'm like,
yeah. So that's
I think call that.
Yeah, I think his strategy should be to make it, to argue that you're wrong, that this has any significant weight, that this isn't really a big deal, and that you're overreacting, whatever.
And you're painting me a picture as a misogynist that I'm not.
Basically, set himself as an example of someone who isn't a misogynist to disprove her point. But.
So I'm really curious what's going to happen, because it looks like he's going to be the nominee for the Republicans. I'm really curious what the election's going to be.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing overall. The Republicans are automatically embarrassed because he's their guy. But really, the fact that Trump is going to be in the election, he is a serious consideration for president of the United States. That's embarrassing to the whole country.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like other countries are gonna look at us and like, really, this is like one of your main candidates. Like this is the second place guy.
Right.
You know, I mean, even if he doesn't get elected, that's still
Exactly.
Like,
the fact that he's
that's
actually,
several months of this guy like trying to convince us, like being on the front stage of convincing us that he should be the leader in the highest office of our country.
and
right?
we couldn't come up with anything better.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we will wrap it up for today, but go ahead and stay in line, Ben. We'll chat a bit more. All right, everyone.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
We dropped 24 new unread samples previously on you. So you're welcome, world.